If you're looking to buy an air conditioner in Europe, here are a few essential things you should know first. By far, the most common type you'll see here is the wall-mounted split system. Split just means it's divided into two parts, one indoor unit and one outdoor unit. If you have multiple indoor units connected to just one outdoor unit, that's called a multi-split system. Wall-mounted units are popular because they fit into almost any home. The indoor unit is compact and sits high up on the wall, so it stays completely out of the way. But the real benefit of a split system is that it keeps the noisy part, the compressor, outside your home. Inside, all you have is the evaporator and a very quiet, efficient fan. Quick side note. Most wall-mounted air conditioners sold in Europe today are reversible. That means during autumn, winter, and early spring, you can actually use them to heat your home. They use a four-way valve to reverse the refrigerant flow, turning the evaporator into a condenser, and vice versa. Air conditioners come in different sizes based on their cooling capacity. The most common sizes you'll encounter are 2 kilowatts, 2.5, 3.5, 4.2, 5.6, and 7.1 kilowatts. And it's important to note this is not the electrical power consumption. This is how much thermal power the unit can remove from the room. The relationship between how much electricity the unit sips and how much cooling it spits out is called the SEER, or Seasonal Energy Efficiency Ratio. And so the SEER rating determines the unit's energy class. In Europe, a SEER value of 8.5 or above gets you a top tier 3+ rating, while anything between 6.1 and 8.5 falls into the A++ class. Now, depending on the seller, you might see these values expressed in British thermal units instead of kilowatts. The conversion is roughly 3,412 BTU for every 1 kilowatt. So a 2 kilowatts unit is marketed as 7,000 BTU, a 2.5 kilowatts is 9,000 BTU, and a 3.5 kilowatts is 12,000 BTU, and so on. So, how do you know which size to choose for your space? For standard European homes, we can use these general guidelines for bedrooms up to 15 square meters. A 2 kilowatts unit is usually plenty. For rooms up to 20 square meters, look at 2.5 kilowatts. For a living room up to 25 square meters, you'll want a 3.5 kilowatts unit, and for spaces up to 35 square meters, a 5 kilowatts unit is standard. Anything larger than that, and you definitely need to do the exact math, because these rules of thumb can easily be off. As engineers, we calculate the exact load by accounting for every single heat gain in the room. We look at the windows, the insulation of the walls, the ceiling, the floor, and even how many people will be using the space. We also factor in the room's orientation to the sun, and whether it's on the ground floor or the top floor. Here's a quick example of why two identical rooms might need totally different units. Imagine a 20 square meter room on the ground floor with north-facing windows. Now imagine the exact same size room, but it's on the top floor with west-facing windows getting baked by the afternoon sun. For the shaded ground floor room, a 2 kilowatts unit is fine, but for that hot top floor room, you might need to jump up to a 3.5 kilowatts unit. So room size matters, but it's definitely not the only factor. Every manufacturer offers multiple models for the exact same power capacity. Most brands split their lineup into 3 main tiers, plus a few specialty designer models. Knowing this helps you compare apples to apples when shopping around. These tiers are mostly defined by energy efficiency and air filtration. The entry tier usually offers A++ efficiency and basic air filtration. The mid-tier stays at A++ but upgrades you to advanced air filtration systems. And the premium tier delivers maximum of 3+ efficiency, premium filters, and often some form of an electrostatic air purifier. Moving up also gets you better quality plastics, advanced remotes, and built-in Wi-Fi. If you want something that looks ultra sleek, look at the specialty design models. These are premium tier units built with high-end aesthetics in mind, like the Daikin Stylish or Imura, the Mitsubishi Electric Kirigamine, or the LG R-Cool. Speaking of brands, the market in Europe is dominated by Japanese, Korean, and Chinese manufacturers. But keep in mind, even if a parent company is Japanese, the units themselves are manufactured all over the world. The location of the factory doesn't dictate quality anymore. That might have been true back in the early 2000s, but today, build quality is highly standardized across the globe. Where you will notice a difference is in design philosophy. For example, Japanese brands generally prefer matte, understated plastics for their indoor units, whereas Korean brands love a more modern, glossy finish. In summary, the wall-mounted split system remains the dominant choice for European homes. You can choose 2 kilowatts for smaller bedrooms, 3.5 kilowatts for average living rooms, but always consider the sun and layout. Hopefully, this helps you pick the perfect air conditioner for your home. Thanks for watching. and I'll see you in the next one.